welcome back to Health from the Hive podcast. Yes, we promised in the spring we were going to do lots more, and apparently we didn't. I actually listened.
Busy.
I actually listened to the one in the spring, and I apologise if anybody's been hanging on the edge of their seat for the last 6 months.
All 3 million listeners have.
3. And because, again, we'd opened the boxes, we had 15 all still alive. That did change about 4 or 5 weeks later. 2 of them just couldn't keep going. The numbers weren't enough, and we lost 2, so we ended up back down to 13. Over the summer, we went back up to 16 and had 16 hives producing. And then we had a couple of what they call nukes towards the end of the year, and I put them into big boxes. So we're overwintering 18 this year. This is me not going over 12. And so, yeah, I wrapped them all up last Sunday because the temperatures dropped and the snow started to come. So it's that time of year. And
snowing now.
We've, again, like I say, we were going to do lots, but I don't know. We kind of blinked and summer was over. But this year we decided with the business, again, with Clover Honeypot business, that we were going to spend a lot more time this summer doing markets, and from June through to September we were doing 3 or 4 craft markets a week, which normally went every Saturday, every Sunday, Thursday evenings, and whatever else we could find through the week. So
I've done some bee presentations at retirement residences. I've been doing bee talks at schools and daycares, so we've still got some of those scheduled to come. The bee camps, we did them for 6 weeks here, didn't we?
Yep, through the summer, through July and the first 2 weeks of August, for the kids to come and have a look at how the bees are and taste some warm, fresh honey straight out of the box. So, I mean, the kids all love that, and we had some really good. We only had one where the numbers were lowish because we had a few no-shows. But no, most of them were packed out. We're normally limited to about 20 kids. And the kids loved it, and yeah, we had a lot of fun doing that. So,
and I've just got back from doing a demo at Vida Health in the city, and one lady saw my.
What's Vida Health, sweetheart? People might not know.
Well, people here will, but I guess like anybody, globally, Vida Health is a health and wellness store. Sells all health products, food mainly, skincare products. So I pitched to them last year, and then early on this year I got 6 of my core products into their stores. So I go down and do sporadic demonstrations so that people can try the products. So today, the first Tuesday of every month, is
Titos Tuesday.
Titos Tuesday. So it's Customer Appreciation Day. So they get extra discount. So the seniors normally get a discount. I can't remember what day, but then there's extra discount on Customer Appreciation Day. So
Titos Tuesday.
I did a Facebook post this morning, Instagram post, and a little video saying that I was going to be there. And it actually worked because 4 people that saw my post and my video actually came into the store because they know I was going to be there, and one of them was actually the grandma of some kids who actually came to our summer bee camps, and she was disappointed that we didn't have the skincare products available at the bee camp to try, and so she said that she would come to Vida Health today just to try it, and she bought some.
That's a good idea. I never thought of that. I mean, we do sell obviously honey at the camps, and we've got these little crochet bees that we sell. And yeah, the kids love them. And again, most people will purchase honey at the camp because, I mean, they've just tried it and it's exactly the same. Even though it might be if it's early in the season, it'll be last year's honey still, hopefully, if we've still got some. But last year we did, but this year, I don't know, we seem to be getting through it like hotcakes, which isn't a bad thing.
No,
but
I got 10 to deliver tomorrow.
The more the word spreads, the more people seem to like it. So yeah, I mean, the girls, we had some weird weather in beginning of July. So we had 3 cooler weeks in the beginning of July, and we had an early start because May and June were warmer than normal, and then kind of early July put the brakes on the weather a bit, on the honey production, should I say, with the weather being a bit cooler, and then it picked up. So even though we had an extra 2 boxes, we pretty much had the same amount of honey as what we had last year.
But the 3 weeks of cooler weather in July meant the bees weren't out for as long during the day, so kind of slowed down. I was hoping for about £3,000 this year, but as you said, we got 2,500 like last year, didn't we?
Yeah, again, a lot of work because we hand spin everything out. We don't use any mechanization, so we scrape the frames by hand, we spin them by hand, and then put it into pails and filter it all by hand. Which again it's very busy through August time, and it's into September, and it's a labour of love. And we fed them the syrup in the fall, so that's basically in the fall. It's 2 parts white sugar to 1 part water, and it's a really good food source for them because it won't crystallize and harden through the winter. And again, the bees will pack it away in the space that's left by the queen after she's stopped laying in the fall. So that box that normally would be 3/4 full of young bees and eggs basically empties pretty much down to nothing. So there's lots of space. So that there is honey in the outer frames that we leave in there for the bees, and then they will fill it up with the sugar and water syrup we give them. And yeah, we pack them off to bed, and touch wood again. Probably, hopefully, it's not our next podcast, but in the spring we'll have another look and see how they get on. But again, with the business model we're using right now, we are using the honey, the propolis, and the wax out of the hives, and that's what Karen's been using in her skincare products.
Yeah, and been using it in the skincare for a long time. So obviously over the summer, when we've been doing the markets, most of them were, well, they were all outdoors come June, was it? Like,
oh yeah,
June, May.
Oh, May time, because May was so nice.
Yeah, so we set up our 10 by 10 tent and our tables, and you constructed like a little sample table for me out of some crates. And so at the market, we've been offering samples of our honey and samples of the skincare products. So a lot of my skincare sales are a lot of education because people don't know what propolis is, and I've got like some flyers that explain the benefits of propolis and honey on the skin. So when the people try the lotions, they are always like, oh my goodness, it's not greasy, it soaks in really well, it goes a long way, and they're just like amazed at how awesome it feels on the skin. And so that's one of the angles that I use. And one of the things with regard to the ingredients in especially my Nature's Radiance, my Nature's Skin Therapy, the lotions. The Nature's Skin Therapy is like a lighter daytime moisturizer, and the Nature's Radiance is the more intense lotion that most people, including myself, use on warm, damp skin on the face and neck at night. So because the propolis and honey are humectants, what a humectant means is it'll draw moisture from the air into your skin. But if your skin's already damp and warm, then it'll help to trap and lock moisture into your skin. So the Nature's Radiance tackles what I class as more critical skin conditions. And although we can't make any medical claims, the amount of testimonials that I get back from people using the Nature's Radiance saying how it's helped their eczema, psoriasis, like rosacea, wrinkles, even acne is just amazing. And for people who are local, know where Lac du Bonnet is, but we've done a lot of their markets on Saturdays over the summer, virtually every single one, didn't we?
We did a lot through the summer, yeah.
And it's about 50 minutes north of us. So we'll get people like trying the lotions. And then one lady came up to the tent with her husband. She says like, oh yeah, my husband has eczema and some. It was something else that was a little bit more advanced than eczema. I'm not quite sure. It was a fancy name that I couldn't even remember or pronounce. And he's tried everything like hydrocortisone, prescription medications, like you name it, nothing's worked for him. So he grabbed a little sample stick and wiped it on his leg, and they chatted and left. So I'm like, oh, okay. So a couple of days later, I got a phone call off the wife, and she said, oh, my husband tried some of your Nature's Radiance at the market on Saturday, and although I've never had any bad reviews, I'm like, your heart's in your mouth thinking like, oh my goodness, like what went wrong? Because typically, it doesn't matter whether it's trying lotion or food or a restaurant, like people don't phone up to praise you for anything, do they? They always phone up to complain. And she says like...
Speak for yourself.
So it's like, oh, well, we do, but obviously we praise people. But she says like, oh my goodness, like I can't believe it. My husband's like, nothing has worked on his condition ever except your lotion. And obviously my heart came out of my mouth then because I realized it was like a good testimonial. She says, well, we're in the city. When are you next to the market? And we just happened to be in Oakbank a couple of days later, didn't we?
Yeah.
So her and her husband showed up and actually bought 2 of my jars off me. So that was really good. And the testimonials just keep coming in like quite frequently now. So we just try to get people to do them online on Google. And we did a market in this amazing house, didn't we, on Friday and Saturday of this week.
Yeah, 105, 110-year-old house in town, big 6,000 square foot brick, 4-story, really impressive.
Oh, yeah, it was gorgeous. And then this lady came up on a Saturday with her friend and she tried she says like, oh, yeah, I've got eczema all over my body. And Mr. Binkers, sorry if you can see this, like the cats decided to join in. So, oh, you're going to speak into the microphone. So she said that she had eczema and she was always scratching because she was always itching. So she rolled her sleeve up, tried a little bit of Nature's Radiance, put it on her arm, and then pulled the sleeve down and just continued to keep chatting to us. And she had a friend with her, and all of a sudden she just stopped. And I thought, oh, what's wrong? And she goes, oh my goodness, like my left arm, it's not itching at all. The rest of like my other arm is itching, but I've put your stuff on it and like it's just completely like solved the itching problem.
It's a miracle.
It is. Huh. But no, it's just a very good product.
Oh, okay.
So, but I mean, eczema is actually... called atopic dermatitis, if you want the posh word for it. And apparently, it's a lot of children do suffer from it, and it can be chronic, long-lasting. And there isn't actually a cure per se for atopic, but you need to just manage it the best way that you can. And apparently people with atopic dermatitis or eczema actually are at a higher risk of developing food allergies and things like hay fever and asthma. So I didn't actually know that till I did some like pretty recent research. So again, getting something that will help to alleviate the condition, and it's completely natural as well. So when I was doing my demo earlier in Vida Health, people are obviously like to try the lotion, but they are always considerate that there are no chemicals, nothing synthetic in there, no preservatives, and they're as close to Mother Nature as you can possibly get them. Just saying about children being very prone to eczema, one of our friends, it is actually on our Instagram page, she said a few months ago, she sent you a text, didn't she? Mm-hmm. And she said that her daughter had some eczema on her arm and she'd been prescribed some 1% hydrocortisone cream. So she put it on her daughter's arm. Her daughter started screaming and crying because it was burning. So she washed it off straight away and applied some of my Nature's Radiance. And she said the next morning, she says 90% of the eczema was gone. She says it was just like night and day.
A miracle.
Another miracle, yeah. And I'd say the propolis is like, and the honey is key to it, but propolis, again, also contains copper, and copper is an essential mineral when it comes to boosting collagen production in the body. So collagen production from copper and clover. I'm just trying to, I could picture the flower outside. I mean, our bees produce clover honey and I couldn't think of the name of it. Clover, again, helps to boost collagen levels in the skin. And one of the things when I'm talking to people at markets and demos is that when it comes to any inflammatory skin condition, you have to consider that whether it's dry skin, whether it's just itching, sunburn, whether it's eczema, the one common denominator is actually lack of moisture. And so anything that you can boost collagen levels and moisture levels in the skin, then you're a win-win situation. So it's like I say, just one of those miracle ingredients.
That's a good word.
Yeah. So that's like our little updates on some of the like feedback and testimonials from like the Nature's Radiance. I mean, I think doing so many markets and exposing people to it has been pretty good, eh?
Oh yeah, like I say, we've learnt a lot too this year, and again, it's kind of been an investigative year for markets, and I mean, there's lots locally, and we're just trying to weed out what's good, what's bad, where we get good feedback and everything else, and we've got more coming up, coming in the coming month or so now, I guess, and then I think early the second week of December is the last one. So again, through requests, because we're telling people we're out and about, I did put a tab on the website with our market schedule on it, so at least local people can know where we are and what we're doing. So that's on cloverhoneypot.com. And I mean, with the healthfromthehive.ca website's up and running, where you can find old podcasts on there, all 3 of them. But we certainly say we're going to try to do some more, and like I say, it's going to slow down a little bit now. So we're just getting into this last little mad rush of the year, and then we're just going to sit down again, probably in the new year, go through some stuff and plan our year out, and where we're going to be, where we're not going to be, and what we're going to focus on and what we're going to do less of, what we're going to do more of, what worked, what didn't, and I guess we'll go from there.
And it's been good with the outdoor markets because you have your 10 by 10 tent, and you've normally got allocated around 12 by 12 space, so you can spill out of your tent a little bit. But we have like our own little tried and tested format with the tables and sample stand, don't we?
Yeah.
That's set up and works. But now that we're indoors, it's nice to be indoors because you're not at the elements of the wind and the weather, things blowing over, because that was always something that we had to like
we've
try
had some
and
entertaining
navigate.
times over the
Yeah,
summer.
we actually had one in Oakbank, didn't we? And we had one of the guy ropes tied to the front of my truck, one to a big sign that was outside the restaurant. There was another one underneath, like,
We literally strapped the thing to the floor because there were about 40k winds.
Yeah.
Anything that would blow away didn't get put on there, and we
and there was us and Chris with the hardcore vegetable guy.
Yeah.
That were the only ones that stayed outside that night, and everybody else was indoors.
well, the wind did drop, and
It did.
things weren't so bad. So yeah, it leveled itself out in the end, and we actually had some sales, so it wasn't too bad. But again, it was right towards the end of August, so it was a bit of again, that end of that season, kind of in September, things do drop off a little bit. Kind of, I think people are probably all marketed out because they've been to that many through the summer.
And then August, like, people were kind of making the last ditch attempt going away, because then the kids were going to be going back to school. So parents wanted to get that last maybe camping weekend away, and like trip for a weekend just before everything went back to normal or went back to crazy. So, but yeah, I mean, the outdoor markets have been good, but going indoors, especially if it's a space that we've never been to before, when we do Cook's Creek, and there's a couple of other places that we're familiar with what space that we've got, but it's like when we did it at this gorgeous house on Friday and Saturday, we're like, oh, we don't know what space we're going to get, but we're actually really lucky, weren't we?
Yeah.
We got way more space than we thought, but it's always tough because you're trying to do samples of honey, samples of the lotion, and display other things as well. And it can...
There's only so much room.
Yeah.
We do get a little bit overcrowded sometimes. That's something else we're going to work on this
Yeah.
fall. But no, hope you enjoyed it. And again, if you've got any questions about the cream, we on the website now across Canada, at least, we do offer shipping out of province and stuff. So if you're interested and want some, check it out, and we could certainly
We can send some to England.
fix you up with that and stuff. Yeah,
Want to
probably
pay the shipping.
you probably get waylaid at customs or something. But
No, I've actually sent stuff to people before, and it's only if like we try to like smuggle honey into the country, then.
Why don't you just incriminate yourself online?
I said if we did.
Oh, okay. Oh, we never did that.
No, we never did that. No,
No.
it wasn't us. It was somebody else.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, like I say, the Nature's Radiance and the Nature's Skin Therapy has been proving like a super huge hit, and so I almost sold them out of their stock at the Vida Health today when I was doing the demo. So I'm waiting for them to reorder now, because they'll look at the shelves and go, oh, there's none left. And yeah, we just always got it available on the website. So like I say, anybody got any questions or any topics they want to cover us to cover, and I'm going to be putting some posts on about my new shapes that I'm doing in my soaps now. So
we could say that for a real interesting podcast next time.
I don't. Well,
Shapes
we
of
could
soap.
mention it, but I'm going to be like putting it information on the next social media post. But it is something definitely regarding to inflammation and arthritis that we're going to cover.
So if you wanted to know about shapes of soaps, follow us on the socials. Clover Honeypot on Facebook and Instagram. Okay, wrap it up. I've got things to do.
Me too.
Talk to you soon.
Honey to deliver.
Talk to you soon.
Bye.